Hello there, everybody. Jump 12 here. I've been putting off this video for so long because I just really didn't want to make it. This is not going to be edited much. It's just going to be me talking about these filler arcs that I didn't really enjoy much and talking about how I feel about them. Um, so yeah, we started doing the filler after arc 2, but I didn't feel like I had enough to say about the filler from arc 1 and arc 2, so I waited till arc 3. Um, and there's definitely more to talk about here with arc 3. Let's see here. We're starting off here with Black Butler and the first two filler arcs. You know what? Let's go through all of Black Butler here. Black Butler here, season 1 has a lot of filler arcs. I am going to just put it off to the side here. I feel like trying to compare the filler to the canon material because I don't care enough. So first up we have Houndsworth arc for Black Butler. Yeah, this is the first one where I thought it was decent. This is in between the Red Butler and the Indian Butler, the first one of two. And this one's alright. This one's the one where they go to this town that's being tormented by this demon hound. It's like the story of a demon hound that they have to figure out. And this is where we find out about Pluto, who's this mythical werewolf dog thing they find. And we begin the introduction of Angela, who's freaking manipulating the strings for this whole thing. Oh gosh, Angela, fucking. There's also this guy who Angela was his maid, and he was doing some sus things with Angela. I think this is pretty short. It's only, I think, 3 episodes. I think it's 3 or 2. I think it's not very long. But I liked it. It was pretty good still. Didn't really have too much filler stuff. It introduces the filler characters and stuff. So most of it's still, CL and Sebastian. And it kind of still fits in with the world. Oh gosh. Was Finny in this? I think Finny might have been in this. I don't remember. Remember there was a scene where they were throwing rocks at somebody, and then one of them stepped in to take the rocks. I think they were throwing rocks at the dog. They were blaming actual dogs and killing dogs, I think, or something like that. It's been so. I just realized it's been 6 months or 5 since I watched some of this stuff. So. So yeah, I think it's B plus. I think it's good. Oh, now I remember what this one is. So Shard of Hope. It was actually really interesting. This is B because the start of this, I think it was 2 episodes. Oh, actually, I can double check. Why am I just guessing how many episodes? So yeah, Houndsworth was 3, 7, 8, 9. Shard of Hope 10, 11, 12. This was also 3 episodes. The start of this was interesting because I think this is there was a villain that was controlling puppets and stuff and kidnapping children, and it was somewhat interesting. And then Grell shows up, and I don't like Grell in this arc. Grell kind of ruins the entire tone. Because I think this was a very serious and dark story. And then Grell comes in and just makes it a comedy. And it's oh gosh, I hate this. Why? But I think it had a strong enough start that I'm going to say, yeah, B. I think this is B tier. This is above average. Yeah, I think this is B. This is above average. I don't remember much. I think there was also a twist at the end where Angela was involved or something. like she was actually the real puppet mastermind. Oh my gosh. I realize it's been so long since I watched these. I've now like completely forgotten them. You know what? Let me look up synopsises for these episodes just so I could like fresh my memory. Yeah, they end up taking Pluto home. Okay, yeah. Finney is in this the Separate the Servants to the Houndsworth arc, and Finney is in love with Angela. And then the third oh yeah, it is 2 episodes, but because the third one is just like a silly episode about them trying to take a photo of Sebastian. And then the Shard of Hope arc. Oh, that's right. There's a festival on the Thames River, and I was really cool seeing that because I'm like, oh yeah, Doctor Who had an episode of the Thames River. Yeah. Oh yeah. Elizabeth is looking for a present. I think she gets taken by the villain. Yeah, Elizabeth goes missing, set into the heart of London to search for her, and then this episode is when Gorel shows up again. Yeah. Yeah, Ciel finds Elizabeth in the tower. That's right, the villain makes Elizabeth attack Ciel. Controls her. Yeah. Yeah, I think, this arc could definitely be higher if it wasn't for Grell in this arc. Because I think the serious tones in the Shard of Hope are really interesting. And I liked them. But of course, Angela has to show up again in the freaking Indian Butler, where she's interfering with that, because she's important to season 1. I hate Angela so much. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I guess I should say my friends' scores as well. Yeah, my 2 friends gave Houndsworth an A, and then the Shard of Hope we all gave a B. And then we move into the post-canon material for Black Butler, which, starting off with the Haunted Castle, this is 1 episode, and I think it was fine. I thought it was okay. This is just an episode where they're investigating this ghost of Edward V. Yes. And his brother Richard. And they are investigating the murder that happened there and killed them. And Sebastian takes over, stops being a butler for Ciel for this episode, and is a butler for the 2 kids. And it's an interesting little thing. There's a lot of things that season 1 I think introduces that I'm like, I don't know if there's actually ghosts in Black Butler canon, but whatever. This is okay. My friends, on the other hand, one of them gave it an F, and the other one gave it a D. They did not really care for the Haunted Castle, but it was alright. But then this is where it gets really, really bad. Here is the dreaded R category. I'm just going to split F in half. You might be wondering, what the crap is R? So with the deal with R, I didn't have on my scale a 1. Because I didn't think anything could be a 1. I have C being 5. There's still big D's for 3, and then F's 2. I'm like, yeah, 2 is like the lowest. And I'm like, maybe, and then I was like thinking, okay, a 1 could be like recap episodes, because, nobody liked recap. There's just completely skippable episodes. Oh my gosh. Black Butler has 1.0 episodes, in my opinion. The freaking filler is so bad. We start off with the Book of Doomsday arc. Oh my gosh. This is 2 episodes. I need, what exactly happens in this? Banded Monastery wrote Preston. They override cults, possibly planning to overthrow the government. Ciel and Sebastian head there and investigate the Undertaker and Grell. Finding the cult using a strange book known as the Doomsday Book to recruit new members and expose their past. Ciel summoned one night and gets taken away by Angela, reveals herself to be an angel. This is where Angela starts to become more prevalent to the plot. And then Angela uses the cinematic record of the next episode to force Ciel to recall his painful past, including the events surrounding his parents' murder. And it's so terrible when you know the actual story now. It's like, this is not Black Butler. What are they doing? This is awful. This is garbage. This is some of the worst stuff I've ever watched. I hated every second of it. I hated it. It's just, I hate this. It's stupid. I don't even know. I don't know how to articulate words. Just the fact that she's an angel is already just and then also the cinematic record for his parents. I think they change it so that way Angela is the one who killed his parents, and she had like there was like cracked versions. I don't remember exactly because it's so bad. It's so fucking awful. Oh my gosh. And also Grell's in this. I will say they do reveal, I think before the manga does, that the Undertaker, it was a Death Reaper. No, a Reaper. I think it's just Reaper. Which is fascinating watching this again. But yeah, that's one thing they got right out of ruining everything else. But we're not done yet. Oh yeah, even though I gave that an R, my friends both gave that an F. They didn't hate as much, probably because they haven't seen good Black Butler at this point. But this was the arc that got both me and my friends to all say 1. Conspiracy and revenge. Oh my gosh, where do I begin with this? So, they kill off characters in this first episode, I think. I think they kill off Lau. They kill off Lau. They kill off the detective. It's so fucking stupid. It's so stupid. And then Angela, the queen. Oh yeah, the queen is working with the angels or something, and she's like got a young body now. And it's revealed that her bodyguard is also an angel who's working with Angela. Wow, what a twist! And they work together to raise freaking England to help start a war, because they first go to France, Paris. They're like trying to set up this whole world war that's gonna happen, and there's it's so fucking stupid. It's so fucking stupid. Oh my gosh. There's also I don't remember. Is this arc or was it a previous arc? There's one episode. I can't remember if it was this arc or the previous one, where Sebastian is trying. They're trying to get into this cult that Angela started, and so Sebastian just like sleeps with one of the nuns, and I'm like, why? Sebastian wouldn't do that. And it's interesting that I'm recording this after we've watched Book of Circus, because I forgot he does sleep with somebody in that, but that was more of like a last minute, like, oh, I don't have any other options. This is the only options available. It wasn't the first thing you thought of. Oh yeah, they also reveal backgrounds of Maylene, Bard, and Finian, who aren't even canon backgrounds. I don't know how accurate these backgrounds are to the actual canon. But it's so baffling. It's they just straight up were trying to rewrite and finish up the story in this one season, even though there's only 3 arcs of the story currently out, and they're working on the freaking circus arc right now, as of the filming of the releasing of this season back in 2008. It's just, I hate it. Yeah, okay, so they go to the exposition, Dexter, Monkey, um, oh gosh, it's right. You get to fight on the bridge with freaking Sebastian going into his demon form and fighting the freaking angel, and and it's on I think Angel Bridge or some stupid thing like that, and there's like they built the bridge using children or something, and because the bridge is crying or some stupid shit, or that's just the souls going into it. I don't remember exactly. There's this. I think the bridge is absorbing the souls from England. But the demon manages to beat him, and they manage to kill the killers of Seattle. Because remember, Angela was the one that killed the parents. Oh, wait, no, I don't think Angela's. No, that's right. The guy's not working with Angela. He is Angela. Angela's also the butler, the guy that's working with the queen. And they managed to kill him, and then that's it. The killers are done, so the show's over with, and Sebastian eats his soul, and that's it. What do you mean? How it's so disrespectful. That's the biggest thing I have with rewatching this. Is it's so disrespectful to the source material. Like Butler's so good. Why did they just ruin this by shooting itself in the foot? I don't. It's it's awful. It's so bad. That's right. They have to fight Pluto because Pluto's the one that's burning down the city. The mansion gets burned down. That's right. And this is why we're not doing freaking season 2, because season 2 is just as bad, if not worse, if I remember correctly. Or I'm just I don't remember. I don't remember. I'm not watching it. I don't care. We moved on to Book of Circus. I feel like there's probably more I could go into detail here, but I don't care anymore. We all gave this an R, a 1. Wait, this is a 1. This is garbage. This is the level. This is worse than recap. If I could give this a 0, I would. I think my friend and I did have a fight over this about trying to give us a 0. Oh my gosh. And really quickly going back up to B+ here, we have the one episode of the Book of Circus that is filler, and they have this episode so that way they can set up the season, because the season 1 didn't set this up. Because at the end of the Butler, Queen Elizabeth gives him the letter to go to the circus, and that is setting up the next arc for him to go to the circus. But because they didn't do that, because they wanted to do the whole thing of Angela, because they thought they were better writers, when in fact they're not. They're garbage writers that should be fired out of the industry. They have to have this whole episode where I think there's like people attacking the mansion, and it was kind of interesting. And then he gets the letter. I think Sebastian finds the letter in his pocket and is like, "Oh, the Queen's Guard must have given it to you." And to go to the circus, and he's like, all right, I guess I'll go. And then they go to the circus next episode, which is the beginning of the next arc. And this was a fine episode. This was good, especially after what we watched. This was definitely B+. I think my friends were definitely on something, because I think they were just, I think after the train wreck that we just watched, this one good episode made them give it A+. I mean, it is a good episode, but it's definitely not A+. It's definitely... But you know what? If they really did enjoy it that much, that's good of them. I'm glad they enjoyed it. But yeah, this was definitely a breath of fresh air after the garbage we had to sit through. And it's for that reason the average of season 1 is a C. It has some good stuff. It has some really interesting stuff with the canon material, but oh my gosh, the filler material bogs this season down so hard. The last 7 and 8 episodes of this season are absolute garbage, but I think season 1 is the average out for all of our ratings is C tier, so yeah. It's just below Yu-Gi-Oh! Season 1. And then let's go over some quick one-episode stuff. Fullmetal Alchemist, we have the introduction arc. The first episode of Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I actually think this is very good. They do a good job setting up the story and respecting the source material with, setting up Father and various other things that will be eventually talked about in the show. Do I think you should start here instead of the actual manga start? No. No, I do not. I think the manga starts better because I think if you are watching this for the first time, you should definitely be introduced the way everyone was supposed to be. This does not introduce you to the characters or the world very well, but if you are already familiar with the characters and the world, I think this is an interesting little first arc. It's about this one guy trying to fight against the government, and this guy was actually correct, wanting to stop Father. Doesn't know it really, but Eddie will have to stop him. Interesting thing with the ice guy powers, and I think we see Armstrong, and Bradley stops him, kills him, I think, in the alley. Yeah, it's just a nice little introduction episode, and I think for the purpose that it was trying to do, which is get O3 people into Brotherhood, I think it does a good job. When trying to introduce people to Fullmetal Alchemist, that's a different story. But yeah, I gave this an A. And so one of my other friends, but one of my Foxy gave this a B. This one, the sneak entry arc, one filler episode. What was this again? This was the one where the Karakura town was fighting Hollows, I think. Let me look at 33. Because I feel like there's 2 episodes like that, so my brain's like, is there actually 2 episodes? Or... No, yes, okay. So 33, yes, is the Karakura town fighting back. I like Don Kanoji. It is a ridiculous laugh. I like them working together to stop the Hollows and stuff. This was a fun little episode for me. It was okay, though. I think my friends didn't really care much for it. Yeah, they both gave it a D. I don't think they liked Don Kanoji. Yeah, and then we have the next Karakura Town, episode 50, that's in the rescue arc. This one's okay as well, I thought. This is more about them trying to recruit Kon into the Karakura gang or something. Yeah, it's more just shenanigans, and it's okay. My friends, once again, didn't really care for this, though. Yeah, they both gave this an F. I think they really did not like Kon in this, or Don Kanoji. But I don't know. I don't really mind them that much. I think it's okay. I think if you watch these 2 episodes and they interrupt the flow of the arc, they're even worse. But I think if you watch them by themselves, they're all right episodes. Oh gosh, I debated if I wanted to continue with single episodes and then come back to this, but I'm like, I'm already talking about Bleach. I might as well talk about the Bound. There's 2 filler arcs of the Bound, and this is where my friends were really looking forward to getting to the filler because they thought the filler arcs were good, and then we got to the Bound, and we all realized the first 2 filler arcs are not good. This one was so boring. It's so fascinating how I feel like the original material they have in here is more interesting than anything that deals with the canon characters. Like, whenever there's flashbacks to the Bounds in their past, I'm like, ooh, this is interesting. I like seeing these, vampires who've lived through these centuries and, like, the struggles they've gone through. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is fascinating. And then they have the Bounds fighting Ichigo and, everyone else, and it's just like a snore fest. I don't care. I don't care about most of these characters. I don't care really much about their powers one guy controls snakes. I think there's uh there's a Soul Reaper guy, which is kind of interesting, but I don't think he really does much. Uh, there's the guy who's has a cute little creature that they summon and going diagonal. She was cute. Um, I don't remember if that's the same one. I think there was a different one. No, that might have been the same one that can possess people. I don't know. If that might be the same one that can possess people, and they managed to possess Rukia and get her Soul Reaper powers back, which was cool, even if it was just like briefly. Um, and I was really sad that she didn't actually get them back. There's that one lady who has a sword and a shield that talk. There's the one. I think the one guy I did like has a minion that is like metal balls, and she can like change her shape and stuff, become liquid. And I think she's somewhat interesting. Um, and I don't even know what the main boss's powers are. Jin's. I don't. I try to remember. I don't even remember. He's strong. I remember he's strong. I don't remember having any distinctive powers though. I. That's another thing about this arc is just so many of the fights I find so boring that they're so slow paced, especially when just coming off of you just got done with an arc where you have high paced action with everybody using their bankais and it's like fascinating and interesting, and then you go into this arc and it's like, where's the bankais? And it's like they have this stupid thing where like, oh, Ichigo can't use it in the real world because he's not used to it. When I think the first episode we see him in canon, he just is able to use it normally. So I don't. It's just it's stupid. I don't. I don't. There's the three dolls that get introduced. They're somewhat interesting. I they got kind of annoying though after a while. I didn't like them just constantly interrupting, and they even came into the canon, which honestly I didn't entirely hate them in the canon. It was kind of cool seeing them fight, uh, hollows in the canon, but I hate this. This was so. This is the worst thing something can be for me, which is just forgettable and boring, and that's what this was. Um, that's right. I'm also just like thinking about the second half. I have to just think about the first half. The first half is oh my gosh, I just remembered something. So in the dub, Sato's Chad's voice actor gets replaced in the dub in the middle of this arc, who has the first voice actor for Chad. Apparently he's done nothing but Chad, which is I think that's what I saw, which is funny. But I feel like hearing this voice actor play Chad in the canon arc, it really just feels like they could not care, because the first couple episodes, especially the first episode that Chad got replaced, I could have sworn it was a fan dub. It was so bad. It was some of the worst dub I've ever heard in my life. Which I like Chad in this arc. I think Chad was decent. I don't remember. Uryu doesn't do anything because Uryu doesn't have his powers right now. I think he does get his powers back eventually to help out a little bit, but then he loses them again because he's can't have them yet. I don't remember Orihime doing anything. Uryu also has this weird thing where he falls for one of the bounce and is really sad when she dies. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I do remember this is a really annoying thing to watch, because I think there are multiple points where they're like, all right, we need to go after these guys. We need to stop them. Let's go fight them. They go fight them. They lose or they get away, and then they have to go find them again and fight them, and then they lose or they get away, and then they have to go find them and they have to go fight them, and then they lose or they get away, and then finally they go and find them again and they have to fight them, but then they lose and get away. It's so infuriating. I hated this. But the only reason why it's not E or F is because the flashbacks and stuff were actually enjoyable. Like I said, I like the original material. I think if this was more about that stuff, I think I would enjoy this more. But yeah, part 1 was so boring. Part 2, Assault on the Soul Society, was a little bit better. I gave this a C. This is where they managed to get into the Soul Society and have to fight it. But oh my gosh, they start off with a fight against Byakuya Kuchiki and Ichigo fighting the main villain, and I'm like, what? They're fighting already? And then he just gets away, and then they're staying at this house, and they stayed at the villagers. They tried to organize a rebellion or something. I don't remember exactly. The middle part of this arc is so blank to me. But then they get back to the action again where they start fighting more of the captains and stuff, and that's at least there's some interesting fights here. Now that the bounts are more powered up thanks to the being in the having the Reiji of the Soul Society or whatever the crap, and I think they're actually able to use their Bankais now, if I remember correctly. There's some interesting fights with Zanpakutos. You have the final match against Big Boss. It's somewhat interesting, I guess. I don't remember much of it. I think it's forgettable. The Pound arc's not good. Yeah, me and Foxy both thought it was C. Claire, D. I mean, Claire gave it a C. Then Assault on the Society, we all thought it was a C. This was, yeah, it's okay. It exists, and it's. I think what's so frustrating for me, especially, is the fact that like I can't just tell you to skip it. Because you could skip it, but then you would have the beginning of the canon material, and there's just these 3 characters that are now here. Because they bring the filler characters in, and I don't know. Read the manga. Just read them. Watch the first 3 arcs. Watch the Soul Society in the first arc, and then continue with the anime if you want to. Let's quickly go over the 2 more 1 episode fillers here. We have the Eisenwald arc filler here for Fairy Tail, which is the 1 episode of Happy. I think they do 2 happy things, which are only like a minute of actual screen time in the episode. A minute or 2 minutes. Where the first one is Happy trying to get a fish, and the second one is them having mushrooms grow out of their heads. And the rest of the episode's runtime is dedicated to this village that is missing all of its people, and they have to figure out why the people are missing. And I thought it was just okay. It was an alright episode. I really don't remember much about it, or why the town's missing, or anything really. I've completely blanked this once again. When I watch this, I'm like, oh yeah, I think I remember watching this. And now after watching it again, I've already forgotten what's in this again. And I'll probably never remember this episode existing once I'm done talking about it. It's very forgettable, but it's okay. And we all agreed that it's C tier. And then you might be looking at this and being like, Attack on Titan? Why is Attack on Titan here? There's no filler in Attack on Titan. You're right. The show itself doesn't have any filler, but there was a special chapter in this arc, which is about Ilse Lagnar and her journal encountering a Titan that could speak, and the anime decided to make that into an OVA episode, where I think only 5 minutes of the episode are the actual chapter, and the rest is about Hanji, and her and Levi investigating the journal and going out onto the scouting party, and a bunch of other filler. Like it feels like filler. There's just nothing that really happens in here. It's just more screen time for the characters. And I liked it still. I think the stuff in here with Ilse Lagnar makes it up in the end B, because I think this is a good chapter, and I think people should see the Ilse Lagnar thing, because it does introduce a concept that would be important later on in the story. The fact that it's in an OVA special is probably why most people have not seen this, because who watches OVAs? Because I think the rest of the OVAs are completely non-canon. I mean, they're canon to the anime, but there's no manga material in the rest of the OVAs, I don't think. So, I totally understand people skipping them. But I thought it was B, and everyone else thought it was B. It's alright. Nothing too special. Yeah. And then we have the 2 episodes that are filler for the Magic Knight's entrance arc, which is episode 3 and episode 13. I think episode 3 is the training episode where they're training for the Magic Knight's exam, and this is so awful. I don't know why you put a filler, so much filler, just at the beginning of a show when you're introducing the characters, and there's so much Asta screaming. It's so bad. And I think I really briefly talked about it. It's not worth talking about it more. 13, though, is the episode I think we originally skipped, where he goes back to the church with the Blue Pegasus, and there's like a guy that attacks them or something, and they protect the church, and it's okay, which puts it in E. It's the filler for Magic Knight's entrance arc is it's bad. But it's so just not worth talking about more, because there's like nothing really going on here. But it's not good. And then we have Yu-Gi-Oh! And the school arc filler, and it's like a lot of this is single episodes, but there is kind of like a story arc here, with Kaiba trying to get revenge on Yugi by sending out these people to duel him. And there's like a thing where they're like trying to get souls, I think, for the gargoyle statues or something. I don't know. I think we also see Jinochi's sister for the first time in the filler. This filler is so forgettable. But yeah, the card game is only played like twice in the actual show, actual manga material. For the school, one for the school and one for Def T. But they decided to add a bunch of filler with a bunch of different cards and stuff, and it's just this card. It just wasn't good. This was not. It's so bad. It's so boring. It's not an enjoyable thing to watch, really, and there's no real interesting characters they do. It's not good. I I think some of the filler was so boring that we just couldn't sit through an entire episode of it. And I think there are a couple episodes we skipped because it's so bad. But there was a couple. I think there was a couple of good episodes, and that's why it's D and not like lower. It's because there was like one or two glimmering spots of hope that were quickly trounced on. And, I'm gonna look up synopsis because I do want to know what those couple of decent episodes were. I think we did watch the Capmon episode here too. Because even though it does adapt to the material from the chapter where Yuki plays Capmon with Bokuba, this is changed to be about his friend, his adult friend who's interested in a high school girl, which is not good. But there's also an episode where Jinochi has a crush on one of the nurses that's taking care of Shizuka. That's the episode Shizuka gets introduced. Oh yeah, a couple of these filler characters do come back into the FT. I forgot about that because when I was watching this again, I'm like, oh yeah, that's who those two characters in FT were. They were from the filler arc. I forgot about that. I don't know. I don't remember. Looking through the descriptions don't help. This is it's below average. It's so forgettable. It's the one thing that kind of ruins the show, and the reason why it's C tier. Because I think this could be definitely higher if they actually adapted. And it's so frustrating because the amount of filler episodes they have is they could have put canon material in this and then covered everything that was in the manga. But no, they wanted to have filler, and it's just like, okay, Toei, alright. I don't know. Old anime studios' decisions always have filler. It's baffling. Yeah, this one episode here that starts off the second series, actually S tier. This is a fantastic first episode. It gets you to understand the important things that happened in the first three arcs, besides Bakura, which is Kaiba and the fact they wanted Blue Eyes and fought Yugi. And also the Exodia scene is just fantastic. This is just, it's so well done, and the duel is interesting, and I think this is this is a fantastic first episode to get people into the show again, and I really love it. I still love this episode. And then last up we have Dragon Ball here with the Red Ribbon Army arc filler, which is 4 or 5 episodes of Goku traveling to search for the Dragon Balls. It's okay. We have an episode where he meets up with Nam again in the desert, and there's like monsters that look like Giran who are stopping the water, and they have to beat them. And then we get to the actual Red Ribbon stuff, where they introduce the Red Ribbon Army, and the Pilaf gang is involved when they're trying to get the Dragon Balls. And there's a bunch of shenanigans with the Ox King. Like Shu takes Goku's place at one moment. Because I think they're waiting for Goku, and Shu takes his place. And eventually Goku does show up and eats a bunch of food. We get to see Chi-Chi again, which is nice. The Pilaf gang has a giant airship, which is cool. There's a whole thing where there's a Dragon Ball in the store, and Pilaf gang and Silver both go to the store. And then there's also a point where the Pilaf gang gets trapped by the Red Ribbon. They get surrounded by them. And I think we end this with Goku fighting Silver for the Dragon Ball. And then it falls in the river and goes away. And that's where the episode ends. And we start the next one with the actual arc. So, yeah, if you skip this filler arc, you don't get the introduction to Red Ribbon and General Silver, which is great. Whoops, I accidentally I gave us a B, not a C. Um, yeah, my two friends gave this an A. I don't remember if I included in the couple of episodes that are in the Muscle Tower Red Ribbon stuff, because there's also an episode of Frap where they have to where he tries to fix the Dragon Ball radar. Um, and so the anime adds a thing where they go to Dr. Frapp first, who made Android 8, which is completely not true. And they fight Mr. And then there's a. Gosh, what's his name? Murata? The Ninja Murata. They fight the ninja guy again. He comes back. And I like the hijinks of the ninja guy. It's funny. Uh, but yeah, I think Frapp looks at it and tells him he can't do anything about it, so he has to go to Boma. And I think they end the episode of blowing up a bomb and killing the ninja guy, because we never see him again. So I assume he's dead. um, and then the next filler episode is the one where they go to the amusement park, and there is. Oh gosh, I can't remember what her name is. One of the Red Ribbon Army characters. There's a filler Red Ribbon Army character in this, and I think she says there's a line here where she says she wants Goku's balls, referring to the Dragon Balls, but Goku doesn't think that, and so he takes off his pants and shows her his balls. Okay, you guys did one funny thing. That's um, but yeah, this it was maybe this is why it's B, because I am including the two episodes here. This was an alright episode, seeing the gang, because yeah, Yamcha's involved in this too. Beaumont, Poir, and Oolong. I think Oolong's in here too. I don't remember. It's interesting, this little episode. But yeah, it's almost entirely filler, because the only canon material is like 30 seconds of Bulma and Goku flying off on the Nimbus to their next arc. Um, yeah, it's B. It's acceptable filler. I mean, especially when you look at all the other filler you had to watch. Like, oh my gosh, the fact that filler from the 1980s is better than Bleach, and definitely better than Black Butler, and respects the source material better, is astonishing. um, but yeah, I think that is it for the real filler stuff. And since I forgot like a second ago, here we go. Here's Hunter x Hunter's recap, and here's Naruto's recap. They are above. This is the only thing I'm actually placing, because I am putting these two recap episodes above. Actually, Hunter x Hunter is two episodes, and Naruto is one episode recap. These 3 episodes I would rather watch than those 2 arcs from Black Butler. They are awful. And even though our recap is just stuff you've seen already and has nothing new really, it's still better. It's still better. But yeah, that's that. That's the filler for the first 3 arcs. Most of it's okay or bad, but there is some good stuff. There is some decent things out there. But I feel like the only thing I would only say you watch. See here, what would I say you watch out of these? Yu-Gi-Oh! Definitely the first episode I think is worth watching. The Fullmetal Alchemist episode I think is worth watching if you already watched the series. If you are new to Fullmetal Alchemist, just go straight to the canon material. Black Butler, even though I think it is good, I do not recommend the Houndsworth arc. But I think that the Book of Circus episode is fine to watch. You kind of have to watch the Book of Circus arc, since if you didn't read the manga of the first 3 arcs, you're gonna need that first episode to lead you into the Book of Circus. And I think the 104th Training Corps, I think I would recommend for the Ilse Lacnar stuff exclusively. But of course, if you are desperate to watch Black Butler and not read the manga, then sure, watch the filler stuff in between the first 3, in between Red Butler and Indian Butler. It's okay. It's above average stuff. You can watch it, but then immediately skip to Book of Circus because the rest of it's garbage. And then Dragon Ball is, yeah, if you want to watch it, it is okay, but I would not recommend it. And I think that is all I would really I would, yeah, everything else I'd say skip. I think some of this you can't skip, like Black Clover's episode 3, because there was important stuff in it. Like some of the stuff you can't skip because there's like a couple of scenes of important stuff. But yeah, this was supposed to be a short video, but it is not short at all. I don't know how long this will actually be, since quite a bit of it was me fiddling with the tier list. But I hope you enjoyed me talking about filler for way too long. And once I have more to talk about, I will continue with more filler. So, thank you for watching. And you all have a good day or a good night. Happy New Year. Arc 4 will come out when it is done and edited. I will keep the monthly updates going. So if you want to know what's going on, just check out the posts. And I think that's all I have to mention. So, goodbye.